Here we go. So today we are talking for the final time about Vishuddha chakra, or the throat chakra, which I consider, I mean, I always say they're all important for our healing, but I think the throat for me has been of vital importance, and it's still one I'm working with. So there's a word in Sanskrit which is satyam, and it means speaking our authentic truth and finding our voice. And I think for many of us, this is really hard because we, without even realizing it, it's a cultural thing as much as anything. We hide behind being nice, people pleasing, being polite, and we abandon ourselves because we think other people count more than we do. And actually, I wanted to read this lovely message I had from one of you. Thank you, because I think she puts it so well. And this was in response to the email I sent out on Saturday. So she says, it's so painful we don't speak our truth, and it is self-abandonment. It's like we're stuffing down our personal truth. For me, I have been trying to convince myself that if I put others and their wants and needs before mine, then I will be helping to create a bigger picture, and my needs are just a small part and not so important. I'm almost persuading myself that it's unreasonable to want to be happy on my own terms. It's strange because in the past, I was far more easy and comfortable about speaking out and voicing my wants and needs. I think there's fear, a lot of fear, which I'm allowing to almost overwhelm me. I will find my voice again. Yes, you will. And yeah, I think that's most of what, or all of what I wanted to read out, because I think, as I say, it applies to all of us. It's something I'm actually working on 2 issues myself at the moment, where it's so easy to not speak up, just to let it pass away or just to pretend to be nice. But actually, we do abandon ourselves when we do that. I've mentioned before that my teacher says we create a knot. It's an energetic knot called a granthi. And when we do that, that contributes to us not recovering. And I read a brilliant quote today, and it was it's actually from my notes. I'm not sure where the quote comes from, but it was that the dark night of the soul stops when we find self-love. The dark night of the soul, which of course can go on for many weeks, months, years, stops when we finally find self-love. So I always say this is not about narcissism. It's not about being selfish, but it's about realizing that we count too, and that we are right to speak up and out and speak our truth. And actually, when we do that, life does start to flow for us much more easily. So with all that said, please come to a comfortable position, sitting position. And we're going to start by thinking about our posture, because our posture affects everything, including, of course, the throat chakra. The chakras run parallel to the spine, and for all of those energy centers to be balanced, we need to think about our posture. When we've been ill, when we have long COVID, ME, whatever it is, we do tend to curve over our hearts. So in our yoga session, we can remind ourselves of healthy posture. So just start by thinking about your posture, and maybe bring one hand to your heart and just lift up into that. So we're not curving down, we're just opening and lifting the heart. And then roll your shoulders a couple of times. Shoulders are also affected by Vishuddha chakra. They're part of the Vishuddha chakra. And then lift your chin to nod your head up. And then take your chin back, but make the back of the neck long and tuck the chin into towards the throat. Almost like you're making a double chin. So you have your ears in line with your shoulders. Your shoulders are open, so we're not curving forward. And this is helping this whole throat area to release. And then if it's comfortable for you, close your eyes and have this idea of space. So some people talk about space being the element of the throat chakra, others talk about ether. We want to think about spaciousness. So the space between the ears and the shoulders, space around the throat, soften the jaw, soften around the eyes. And then think of space between the crown of the head and the tailbone so that the lower ribs are lifting but without strain. And then we're just going to do the seed mantra chant. It's optional if you would like. Everything in this session is optional. But if you would like to do the seed mantra, it's hum, H-A-M, but it's pronounced hum. So we're going to chant Om, hum, 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 if you would like. So just take your fingertips and gently rest them around the throat, just to bring the awareness there. I'm going to chant and then you chant back to me. So we're doing this as call and response. Om, hum, hum, hum. Om, hum, hum, hum. Om, hum, hum, hum. And then still keeping the eyes closed, drop the hands to the knees and just feel into the space and the silence there. And just for a moment or two, bring to mind, if you have, maybe you haven't, a situation where you feel you might be a little bit afraid of speaking up and out. See if you can bring to mind something that would actually be better for you. You'd be carrying less tension if you were speaking up and out. And as you think about this, if it's relevant, bring compassion to yourself. Because having a bit of anxiety about speaking out is natural, especially if for years we've had that pattern, that samskara of keeping quiet, trying to please others. But just reflect for a moment or two of the effect on you, how this might be making you tense and how you might feel after you've spoken out. And most of the times when we do speak, people are actually, we're afraid of their reaction, but very often they're much more respectful to us. It's also, of course, about boundaries, which we've done before. You know, this, sometimes we need to say no, firmly, kindly, but no. That's also part of Vishuddha chakra. And if you're thinking about a situation where you need to speak out, but you're finding it difficult, just observe in the body where that anxiety is. So the email I read out talked about fear, very common. You know, that's why we don't speak out. If you feel fear or anxiety or tension, just observe it as a physical sensation rather than thinking about it. And if there is anywhere in the body where you're feeling it physically, you might like to take your hand there. It might be your heart or your belly or your throat. Just observe it as a sensation. And then take a moment or two just to really calm into the body, being aware of the physical body and being aware of what you're sitting on and what's holding you, and a sense of being held. And then observe how the mind is, how your energy is, how your emotions are. And see if you can allow everything. So you're not resisting any unpleasant sensations, any anxiety, any fatigue. Just see if you can, I'm going to say welcome it. That might be too strong, but at least accept it. So we're not resisting anything in our present moment experience. We're just allowing everything. If you can welcome it, even better, but for many of us, that's a bit of a stretch. We'll get there though. And then we're going to think about our breathing. So just for a moment or two, observe how you're breathing without trying to change anything. And again, this idea of just acceptance, not judging, not criticizing, just watching how we're breathing. And then if it's comfortable for you, just begin to let the breath slow down. And then we're going to be thinking about breathing slow and low, conscious breathing. So one hand to the heart, the other below the belly button. And we're breathing into the hand that's below the belly button. And if we can, we're breathing through the nose. And we're going to practice samana breathing, coherent breath today. So if it's comfortable for you, you're going to inhale for a count of 4, slight pause at the top of the breath, and then exhale for a count of 4. If that's too much for you, you can make that 3, or you can make it longer, maybe 5, but just an even inhalation and an even exhalation through the nose from the diaphragm. But whatever you do, you're not pushing or straining. And just remembering that the breath is our major form of prana, universal life force energy. And in yoga philosophy, it's knots or grunties, like I'm talking about the throat chakra, which prevent the prana from flowing. And then for the next 5 breaths, if you would like, you can leave your hands where they are or bring them back to your lap. You're going to hum the breath out through pursed lips. Remembering that vibration, song, chanting is really good for Vishuddha chakra, but also there's lots of science behind the reasons why we hum, including the increase of nitric oxide. So we inhale through the nose in your own breathing rhythm, your own pitch. 3 to 5 times if 5 is too much. Just try that. When you've finished, again, close your eyes and just observe the effects of the breathing and the chanting already on the system, how it begins to calm you, how the mind might be becoming quieter. If it's not, that's fine too. Everything is welcome. And then before we come to lying, we're just going to roll our shoulders 2 or 3 times, just to soften this upper area to help with the breath. And then again, just sit quietly thinking about your posture. Observe if the jaw has introduced any tension. Remember to keep the back of the neck long, chin coming into the top of the chest, ears over the shoulders. And then have a sense for the next 5 breaths of breathing in a blue light, a sky blue light to the throat. And on your out breath, just sending that to wherever you feel needs healing in the body today. So the sky blue breath, that's blue is the color of Vishuddha, the throat chakra. Inhale it in, visualizing it coming in, healing the throat. Exhale it, send it to wherever you feel you need it in the body. And then when you're ready, please come down to a comfortable lying position. So this might be on a sofa or a bed, or it might be on your mat on the floor. I always suggest you have something under your head, like a cushion or a pillow or a block, just to help to keep this length in the back of the neck. And I also suggest you might like to start with your knees bent, heels coming in towards the buttocks, the knees touching. This is just as the back begins to relax, and then later on you can stretch out your legs. Sasha, I love your dog. And then think about where you want to place your hands. So classically, the arms are away from the body, palms turned up, space under the armpit. But if your shoulders are tight or it's more comforting, you can rest them on the belly, or you can turn the palms down. So just experiment in what is the optimum position for you to relax. I think Sasha actually is going to have her dog's cuddling right into her. It's so lovely. It's actually, I've got my cat cuddles me at night. I think there's nothing that helps you relax more than a pet snuggling into you. And it's all called co-regulation for the vagus nerve, actually. A pet helps us to really calm down. So I'm enjoying your dog, Sasha. So I thought this morning, because Vishuddha chakra is about the voice, authentically speaking our truth, and we're told that the things that really help are prayer, chanting, and singing, I thought I would do a short chant for you while you listen, it's called Ayudehi. It's a healing mantra, and I couldn't find the translation. I usually have it somewhere. But it's basically, may I be healthy, may I be happy. And it goes throughout different parts of the body, giving them healing. So I'd like to chant this for you. It's from, I believe it's from the Taittiriya Upanishad. It's certainly one of the Upanishads. So please close your eyes and enjoy. Om 𝒂𝐓𝒄𝒂𝒕 Om 𝒑𝒓𝒄𝒂𝒕 Om 𝒑𝒓𝒄𝒂𝒕 Om 𝒑𝒓𝒄𝒂𝒕 Om Chakshurtehi Om Shrotramtehi Om Manotehi Om Vajjhamtehi. Om Atmanantehi. Om Pratishtamtehi. Om Mamtehi. Om 𝒑𝒐𝒏'𝒕. So just rest in stillness, in peace, letting the power of the mantra heal you and wash over you. Feeling the healing vibration. And then when you're ready, just very gently and slowly roll your head from side to side, just observing the neck on the opposite side. If it's different on the left from the right, without any judgment, just observation. And then centering the head, just very gently draw the shoulder blades together against your support. And gently roll your shoulders. And then have a sense of feeling the support holding you, grounding you, because as I've explained before, as we work up the chakras, we have to remain grounded as we're going higher up as well. So just have that sense of being held by whatever it is that you're lying on. And feel on every exhalation, you are relaxing further and further into your support. And then we're just going to do a little bit of opening the front of the body by stretching, if you would like. So again, we'll do it with a mantra, if you would like, everything's optional. So when you're ready, draw the feet, sorry, I should say that you can leave the knees bent, or if the legs are now out straight, bring the feet together. Have the palms down beside your hips. And all we're going to do is breathe in and lift the arms up behind us. The hands might not come all the way to the back, but that's fine. Just take them to where it's comfortable. And then you're going to chant them back. Om hum hum hum. So the chant and the movement and the breath are all in unison, like a moving meditation. And then again, breathing in, lifting. Hum, hum, hum. The end of that chant is when the palms come back beside the hips. So just doing that 3 or 4 times, depending on your energy levels, listening to your energy, always working kindly, listening to your body, not pushing. If you're still moving, make this your last. And then we're just going to point and flex our feet if the legs are out straight. So gently bring the toes in towards you as you breathe in. As you exhale, point the toes away from you. And just do this movement with the feet 2 or 3 times with the breath, just to wake up the feet, just to help pump some blood around the legs very gently, just to help with the circulation. I'm going to do more on feet in transition to recovery on Wednesday. And then relax your feet. And again, just observe how you are now in this moment. Mind, body, emotions, energy, just allowing everything. So you're not judging anything. It's just this state of allowing even kindness to how you are and acceptance.